Tonight, holiday havoc has begun. The first of three major storms set to upend Thanksgiving travel is now tearing up the East Coast, with more to come. What you need to know for your holiday plans. New details in the impeachment saga. What Secretary of State Mike Pompeo knew and when. The danger on the home front for military families.
This home made us sick. This home made us leave. This home made us lose our home.
Is their on-base housing making them sick? Trapped in Mexico, the American tourists who ended up in a Mexican hospital, why they say they're now not allowed to leave, and the celebrity trying to get them out. The hero coach who disarmed a student with a loaded weapon.
I think he needed a hug more than he needed to be tackled.
Now speaking for the first time about that hug felt around the world. And there's good news tonight about medical debt suddenly vanishing across the country. Why a higher calling is to thank.
This is NBC Nightly News with Jose Diaz-Balart.
Good evening. A dangerous triple threat of holiday storms has started, making a mess across the country, and it's only going to get worse, bringing a treacherous mix of ice, snow, rain, and wind leading up to Thanksgiving. It has already begun in some places. Rain soaking parts of the southeast and mid-Atlantic today. We have several reports tonight and begin with Blaine Alexander, who is tracking the storm.
In the Rockies, the misery is mounting. Colorado snow tying up traffic with wet and icy roads blamed for a 50-car pileup in Denver this week. The storms are taking a deadly toll in the Midwest. 2 people killed in separate crashes on slippery roads in Kansas. All across the country, storms are dishing up more trouble as holiday travel approaches. A wet weather system barreling toward the northeast is dumping rain over Nashville and soaking parts of Georgia, too. And it doesn't take much for rain on the road to turn even more treacherous. Ice starts to form once temperatures start to plunge. A real danger for drivers and a real concern, with more than 55 million people expected to travel this Thanksgiving holiday, an estimated 49 million on the roads. At the airports, nearly 5 million more on the go. And with storms forecast across the country through Thanksgiving, at the world's busiest airport in Atlanta, the Cade family is taking no chances, packing up early to go see Grandma in San Francisco.
It's just really nasty out there and super traffic, super rain, and it's really ugly out there.
And Jose, I'm here at the world's busiest airport, Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson, where the TSA is taking steps to make sure things run smoothly here. Today, through the end of Thanksgiving week, they will be keeping all lanes open and adding additional staff. Jose?
Blaine Alexander, thank you very much. WNBC's Dave Price joins us now with a look at the week ahead. Dave, good seeing you. What is ahead for this?
Well, we've got 3 major storms to deal with in the next several days. The first one upon us right now, just as the travel week begins to ramp up. So stretching all the way from Washington up through northern New England, we're talking about rain, wind, low ceilings, snow, and ice. Inland areas are going to see upwards of a foot, half a foot to a foot of snow in sections of New England. This is a look at the map, already seeing slowdowns for New York, Boston, Syracuse, and back to Cleveland.
Dave, that's just the beginning. What's after that?
Well, we've got Storm 2 and Storm 3. So we go out west and we look at the Rockies at this point. That storm system beginning to push all the way toward the Midwest. Again, Tuesday and Wednesday, big travel days. And look at the slowdowns across all of the airports over the next several days. There's that storm as it makes its way east. More snow, more travel delays. And the third storm makes its way Tuesday into Wednesday from Seattle all the way down to New Mexico. That's as this travel week really gets into high gear. And we're also watching Thanksgiving Day for high winds, which could affect the nation's biggest Thanksgiving Day parade. 3 storms. Dave Price, thank you very much. And now on to the political storm in Washington and new details emerging in the ongoing impeachment inquiry. Documents just released show contact between President Trump's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, and Secretary of State Mike Pompeo before the Ukraine ambassador was ousted. Kelly O'Donnell reports.
100 pages of newly released State Department documents show how last spring, Trump personal lawyer Rudy Giuliani delivered his message and his own unproven Ukraine files to Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. Giuliani went through the president's then personal assistant to reach Pompeo after Giuliani's aide noted, "I've been trying and getting nowhere through regular channels." On March 29th, Pompeo, known as S for Secretary, and Giuliani spoke for 4 minutes. The weekend document dump refers to Joe Biden and son Hunter more than 80 times and undercuts then Ukraine Ambassador Marie Yovanovitch, who testified that she felt threatened.
What I do wonder is why it was necessary to smear my reputation.
But the release also includes letters to Pompeo from Democrats and diplomats defending Yovanovitch against a smear campaign. Indicted Giuliani associate Lev Parnas, in a separate development, is prepared to tell Congress the top House Intelligence Committee Republican Devin Nunes met with a former Ukrainian prosecutor about the Bidens in 2018. Nunes denies that, and so does Giuliani.
Poor Lev, I don't know what he's doing to himself. I think once again that's going to be shown to be provably untrue.
And the once close friendship between Joe Biden and Lindsey Graham is on the rocks after Graham announced the Senate Judiciary Committee will examine Biden's ties to Ukraine.
There's nothing to investigate about Biden or his son. And Lindsey is about to go down in a way that I think he's going to regret his whole life.
Kelly, just how serious is this Graham plan to investigate the Bidens? What comes next?
Well, he has already asked the State Department to provide Obama-era documents that would link Joe Biden as vice president to any Ukrainian officials. And tonight, Rudy Giuliani is offering his help to Graham with a new letter, putting Giuliani in the middle of it all just again. Jose?
Kelly O'Donnell at the White House. Thank you. Vice President Mike Pence made a surprise visit to Iraq today. He met with U.S. troops ahead of Thanksgiving and with the Iraqi Kurdistan president. His visit intended to reassure Kurdish allies after President Trump's controversial troop withdrawal from Syria 2 months ago. Back home, military families are speaking out their newest battle against private housing companies that they say have turned their homes into health hazards. Morgan Chesky reports on the shocking and dangerous living conditions of some of our nation's heroes.
At Randolph Air Force Base in Texas, Mary Beth Pisano only has one house rule: enter at your own risk.
You can smell that immediately.
The home exactly as the family left it a month ago, after a test came back showing the home had become a petri dish for mold and forced the family to flee to temporary housing.
Is it everywhere?
Every room. Every room. Your eyes will feel it, the back of your throat.
The microscopic mold spores hidden in the air, the walls, and their furniture. A clean home score, 2,000 mold spores or less. The sample gathered at the Pisanos, more than 63,000. They say the cause, raw sewage.
It was all flooding under this house for months.
You had sewage under your home.
Raw sewage, 8 inches of raw sewage under our home. And that's when we had to pack a suitcase and leave.
The Pisano home, one of more than 32,000 managed by Hunt, the largest private military housing developer in the nation. Now the Pisanos are suing, joining other military families in a group lawsuit against Hunt. Some, like the Hyatts, unable to afford leaving the very homes they call health hazards.
We're going to lose our mattresses. We're going to lose our furniture.
Do you feel trapped?
Yes.
Nationwide, nearly 24 families have filed lawsuits against private military housing companies, accused of mismanaging homes for countless military families.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
Air Force Chief Christopher Lantain calls the problem systemic.
We want to gain trust back with the military families, and we do it through increased accountability and increased oversight on the Air Force side.
Hunt would not comment on the litigation, but in a statement to NBC News, Hunt says they take these matters extremely seriously and are focused on providing residents with healthy homes. They say they are introducing reforms to the program to improve living conditions in accordance with EPA and CDC guidelines. For the Pisanos, justice will likely come too late.
We made this home, and then this home made us sick. This home made us leave. This home made us lose our home.
A loss fueling a new battle for those who promise to serve. Morgan Chesky, NBC News, San Antonio.
An American couple says they're trapped at a hospital in Progreso, Mexico, because they're unable to afford the bill. Tonight, help is on the way thanks to a celebrity from their home state of Georgia. Sarah Harmon brings us those details.
Setting out for a romantic cruise with his fiancée, Stephen Johnson's dream vacation turned terrifying when he fell dangerously ill on board.
The blood sugar was at 900. They said that he was basically in a diabetic coma.
The couple talked to us from the hospital in Progreso, Mexico, where Stephen was treated, and now say they're trapped because they can't pay the bill.
And I said, we're going to pay the bill. We just don't have $14,000 right now.
They acknowledge the hospital saved Stephen's life, treating him for a kidney infection and diagnosing him with diabetes, but say the hospital told them they could not leave until they paid.
How are we supposed to pay $14,000 within the amount of hours? She said, credit card. I don't know anybody who has a credit card with a $14,000 open limit.
The hospital says Mr. Johnson is not well enough to travel home to Atlanta, adding their policy is the same as all private institutions in Mexico, that all bills are paid at the time of discharge. But then hope from a media mogul and fellow Georgian.
Tyler Perry called my personal cell phone early in the morning asking me, do I want to leave and come home?
Yes, Tyler Perry has offered to pay the couple's bill in full.
How did you feel when you got that call?
Ecstatic.
Tonight, Stephen awaiting discharge, sharing some advice for other travelers.
Make sure you get that supplemental international traveler's insurance. It is not expensive.
Sarah, what else can travelers do to protect themselves and avoid situations like that?
The State Department says be sure to check your policy before you go, because while they can help you find a doctor or a hospital abroad, they do not pay medical bills. Jose?
Sarah Harmon, thank you very much. Christmas is right around the corner, and one of the hallmarks of the season, the Christmas tree, is in short supply, and it may cost you more to get one. Candace Gibson did the details.
Across the country,
it's tradition. We have always had one.
Americans hoping to buy a real tree for the season find supplies are tight and prices are higher, up to 10% more than last year. Behind the hike, a shortage of fully grown trees in top tree-producing states like Michigan, North Carolina, and Missouri. And Oregon?
It's very sad. It's really sad, but it's where we are. These are grand fir here.
Where the Kirchham farm, in business for 27 years, shut down for the first time.
We're just going to take a year off and let the trees grow.
It usually takes a good 10 years for trees to grow to a normal height like this popular Fraser fir. But a decade ago, with the Great Recession, many farms reduced the number of trees being planted. And the weather also played a part. Severe drought on the West Coast and too much rain in the Midwest combined for a bad crop.
We think 2019 looks a lot like the past few years, where the supply's been a little tighter, prices have gone up modestly. There's been enough trees for everyone.
And expect 2 to 3 years before supplies bounce back. The best advice? Buy before Thanksgiving, when prices are slightly lower.
Christmas will still be Christmas. I think everybody will still get a tree this year.
Ho, ho, ho! Candace Gibson, NBC News, New York.
Still ahead tonight, the man who disarmed a student with a hug now speaking out.
I've always been a person that always looks for the positive in the lowest moments of life.
The split-second decision then made this coach a true hero. Plus, the newest apple launch, a fruit 20 years in the making, supposedly tastier than all other varieties, coming to a supermarket near you. He was hailed as a hero coach when he disarmed a high school student earlier this year by hugging him. Tonight, Keenan Lowe is speaking out for the first time since that video emerged. Kathy Park reports.
Keenan Lowe showed us the power of compassion after disarming a troubled student who brought a loaded shotgun to his Oregon high school in May. That day could have played out much differently. Panicked students fled from class, and officials prepared for a possible mass shooting.
It looks like there may be a teacher yelling at some kids, saying there's an active shooter at the school.
Now, this high school football coach, a hero to many, is opening up to ESPN about his split-second decision, which diffused a potentially deadly situation.
I just acted. I just went. I just moved forward.
Lowe now sharing new details about the gunman's vulnerability.
And then the kid starts to break down. I didn't want to hurt anybody. I didn't want to hurt anybody. He goes on to say, nobody cares about me. And I told him I care about him. I think he needed a hug more than he needed to be tackled to the ground.
Officials say 19-year-old Angel Granados Diaz was having a mental health crisis and was later sentenced to seek treatment.
I told him I was there for a reason. I was there to save him.
Lowe says he was trained to respond in situations like this, but he leaned in with his heart.
I've always been a person that always looks for the positive in the lowest moments of life.
Showing us all that a small gesture can make a big difference. Kathy Park, NBC News.
We're back in a moment with the brand new Apple, bred to be tastier than all the rest, and the new movement to wipe out medical debt. Breaking news coming in, the Supreme Court confirming Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg is back in the hospital. She was admitted last night to Johns Hopkins Hospital in Baltimore for chills and fever. After being treated with antibiotics, her condition is improving and she could be discharged as early as tomorrow morning. The 86-year-old judge was hospitalized last year after fracturing 3 ribs. Tonight, federal health officials are warning don't eat romaine lettuce grown in Salinas, California, after an E. coli outbreak has sickened 40 people in 16 states. The CDC says throw away any romaine lettuce labeled Salinas, whether it's head, hearts, or bags. And if your romaine lettuce in any form isn't labeled with a growing region, throw it away. Now to what is set to be the biggest Apple launch since the iPhone. But this isn't tech, it's fruit. Kevin Tibbles now on the new variety of apple hitting stores next month.
Move over, Big Apple. Something new's flying in from the orchards of Washington State, and it's called the Cosmic Crisp.
Cosmic is unique in the fact that it's firm without being hard. I think it's a nice sweet apple. It's got a unique flavor to it.
As this year's harvest comes to an end, there's a buzz for this brand new kind of apple.
Are you like Jeannie Appleseed?
A little bit more scientific, I think, than Jeannie Appleseed, but yes, similar.
Kate Evans assisted in the decades-long development of the Cosmic Crisp that started by simply cross-pollinating the Enterprise apple with the blockbuster Honeycrisp.
So 20 years. From that initial cross that was made in 1997 through to trees going out into grower orchards in 2017.
The mother tree, the tree that started it all, still sits in a nearby test orchard. We headed down the road to Mark Barrett's farm stand, where they're testing consumer reaction.
Oh man, I cannot keep them. The people are just coming by the droves they want to check it out, they want to see it, they want to taste it.
And the taste test?
Oh, it's amazing.
It was really good.
Local chefs are already Cosmic Crisp creating.
It's from savory to sweet.
It's expected to be the biggest non-tech apple launch ever, with a $10 million marketing push. And growers have already planted 12 million Cosmic Crisp trees.
To have a red apple that eats as well as this does, that stores as well as this does, and that's being launched with the campaign and being planted at the numbers that it is being planted is unprecedented. It's never happened before.
Still, as far as I'm concerned, the only way to really eat an apple is to take a big old bite.
Really crisp, really sweet.
And if these kids could talk with their mouths full, they'd tell you the Cosmic Crisp just might be out of this world. Kevin Tibbles, NBC News, Yakima, Washington.
When we come back, imagine opening the mail to find all of your medical debt wiped away. The heavenly movement behind it. There's good news tonight about miracles coming in the mail. People across the country are getting letters telling them their crippling medical debt has been wiped clean, all thanks to some guardian angels. For single mother Kyra Taylor, Sundays are filled with family and church fellowship. But this Sunday is unique. She's meeting a new church family, a family that's changed her life. Kyra has suffered from diabetes since she was 10. The cost of multiple medications, coupled with kidney disease and no health insurance, left her drowning in debt.
At the time, I was not able to work. I was too sick.
Stressed by her sickness and the constant hounding from bill collectors, Kyra filed for bankruptcy until divine intervention.
When I got the letter in the mail, first I thought it was a joke.
That letter from RIP Medical Debt said Kyra's debt had been canceled and abolished, courtesy of a nearby church named Vineyard Church. RIP Medical Debt is a nonprofit that forgives medical debt based on donations. It finds the neediest individuals and buys their bundled debt at a discount. In 2019, almost 100 of those donations have been faith-based, relieving around a total of $227 million worth of medical debt. This past Easter, Vineyard Church of Ann Arbor and Pastor Donnell Weich were looking for a way to donate their offering back to the community.
So we raised over $18,000 in order for us to purchase $2.9 million in past due medical debt.
Recipients are anonymous, but today, Kyra wanted to make herself known.
You guys stepped in, and I want to say thank you. I don't want to cry, but I can pay my car note, my car insurance, my bills, my rent. I can take care of my son.
We care about those who are being oppressed, and medical debt is oppression.
The future looks bright for Kyra. Last year, she received a new kidney and pancreas. She no longer has diabetes. She credits her son and her family for inspiring her to keep going.
I've never thought that I would even meet the pastor or the church. This is a big miracle, because not a lot of people expect something like this to happen, especially to me.
And that's NBC Nightly News. For this Saturday, I'm Jose Diaz-Balart reporting from New York. Thank you for the privilege of your time, and good night.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.